All right, more stuff for the chart party. 86 has apparently been redone a couple of times. I know this is not the chart that I was originally shown, so let's take a look at the new chart. I was told this is going to be significantly harder. It's marked D question marks, so I don't know what to expect, really. A lot of people freaked out when they didn't see this on the... Okay, those are kicks. Oh, come on. That's really... Dude, that's a really... A lot of people freaked out when they didn't see this on the final song list, but I think it's going to be an unlock song. Which is fine. There's lots of ways to do unlocks. And having a very different unlock the system than the previous is not a problem. I know a lot of people really like... Dude, that's really hard. Dude! You don't even really have time to move your foot like that. Like, your foot almost has to go through your other foot to get there. Also, can we discuss how high this combo is? Oh my god! That's so many brackets. No! You have to, reverse hip that. Okay, so there's, with only, one exception, and that's usually the 2 up red arrows, every bracket is kind of... Yeah, every bracket is kind of done, one way, right? There's only one... cancel, redo this, pause this. With one exception, that's the top red arrows, every bracket is kind of done one way, right? You don't really have I can put my foot this way or that way. You can kind of... You never turn your hip all the way backwards to do it, right? Sometimes on single, right, you'll turn sideways. And after you turn, I gotta move so you can see this, but instead of hitting a blue and yellow this way, sometimes you get into a spot where you're doing this, and you kind of turn your foot backwards to hit blue up here or yellow up here and blue down there. You'll turn your hip backwards. You don't really do that on double, and there's a spot in here that requires you to do it. All right, let me one more time. As a matter of fact, there's a lot going on here that I want to make sure I'm processing. So let's actually... I talk about this sometimes when people ask me how to study for charts. This is a thing that I fairly often will do to try and make sure I understand what's going on in charts. So this is going to be maybe a D21 just because of all the brackets. It's somewhere around 20 or 21. But the YouTube viewer is actually really good for that. So these are heel kicks. You're all the way backwards for that. And you have to make sure to hit all these brackets. I'm going to hit my own foot so often. Let me just tell you, one foot hitting the other foot is going to happen so often. Also, can we discuss that this has a max combo of 2,000 and some shit? This is going to have such a crazy score if you actually finish it. Like I say, the correct rating for this is going to be somewhere around D21. I could see them calling it a 20. I could see them calling it a 22 just because of how hard some of it is. But I think 21 is about right. There. That's the one where you just... The one yellow to the other is very difficult to do in the time you have. Because you just don't have the ability to to move your foot through your other foot like that. That's really tough. And just hitting all these brackets is going to be so hard. There, that's the one that's backwards. That's really hard to hit. Just because your foot isn't really where you want it to be. It's very rare that you would ever turn your foot over like that to hit that. And honestly, the outro feels kind of sudden. Yeah, the way the song just kind of like cuts feels really, really sudden. Okay, I'm done with this, by the way. Couple of things. Yeah, that's really hard. I like it a lot better than the D18 that people were showing me before that looked really easy. So maybe that'll be in the game, and then this will be a much harder chart as an unlock. Like I say, I think a D21 is about right, but it's going to be one of the hardest D21s to S just because of how difficult it is to get all of those brackets and all those freezes and just connect it all without having trouble with it. So it doesn't have that section that Nakaka had where you were just like mashing threes back and forth around the pad, but this is going to be a lot harder to S than Nakaka D19. So I think 21 is a perfectly reasonable rating for it. If it's somewhere around there, if it's 20 or 22, that's fine too. Yeah, that's hard. I like the song. I don't like it quite as much as I like Nakaka, but it's similar. So, fun times. And just, I don't know. I like the style of chart. I think the style of chart is really fun. They're having a lot of fun with it. I'm really excited to get to play this kind of stuff. Let me know what you guys think about this chart, this song, any of that, and we will really look forward to this kind of stuff when the game comes out shortly. Peace, guys.